Good Friday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, your source for weather information for the northern mid-Atlantic 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith with the in-depth forecast analysis discussion for Friday, the 27th of December, 2013, the last Friday of the year. And I'm quite congested this morning, so you just pardon that as we move on through the forecast here. Generally clear skies and a cold start to the morning at 7 a.m. this morning on this Friday. Temperatures in the upper teens to the low and mid 20s, close to 30 and freezing or so in the New York City area, and also temperatures right along the immediate coast from central and southern New Jersey south, anywhere from the upper 20s into the low and mid 30s. 7 a.m. surface map shows generally clear skies at all the observation stations, and the winds are generally light or coming in from the southwest. There's a few clouds here out towards Allentown and Kutztown in Pennsylvania, also at Avoca Scranton. And most of these are mid and high level clouds above 6,000 feet. Generally VFR conditions, though, even at the terminals this morning. Good news this morning, even on the ocean front, we don't have any advisories, small craft advisories, or any advisories for the area today. That may change. Probably definitely going to see small craft advisory conditions by later Saturday night, especially during the day on Sunday and Sunday night, as a low pressure system races up the eastern seaboard with rain on the way. Generally VFR conditions on the aviational deck this morning. Out of Newark, we have temperature 30 degrees under clear skies, and temperatures or conditions here for the afternoon. Some scattered clouds at around 25,000 feet early this morning. Visibility is better than 10 miles. Winds out of the west at about 10 knots. And basically from late this morning into late tonight, and we're going to experience just a few scattered clouds at about 25,000 feet. Winds out of the west to southwest at around 6 knots or so. Visibility is better than 10 miles. And for tomorrow, we're basically going to have more scattered clouds at around 25,000 feet. Nice day. Southwest winds at around 10 knots VFR conditions. Philadelphia, same thing this morning, 31 degrees. Skies are clear. Altimeter 3040. That's a high pressure, strong high pressure over the forecast region this morning. For the afternoon into the overnight hours today, says scattered clouds at 10 to 20,000 feet. Southwest winds at around 10 knots. And for tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon, some scattered clouds at around 20,000. Southwest winds at 10 knots. VFR conditions. Morning visible satellite image this morning. Mostly clear skies across the New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia metro area. A few clouds here of the mid and upper level variety across northeastern Pennsylvania. On the water vapor channel, high pressure is in control with generally dry conditions across the region. We do have some light rain, some light snow showers now exiting off of both Lakes Erie and Lake Ontario, but high pressure is in control here with generally fair weather. Morning surface map from weatheroanoke.com. A digital atmosphere software shows the high-pressure ridge extending from the central and southern plains all the way to the northern mid-Atlantic region with generally fair weather. This cold front here will be approaching the region and remaining to our west as it becomes basically a nearly stationary or warm frontal boundary over the next 24 to 48 hours. A storm system developing here in the Gulf will race up the eastern seaboard with rain on the way, especially on Sunday afternoon through Sunday night. NAM cloud and precipitation forecast from Penn State's eWall site shows basically high pressure and control with lots of sunshine today. It's a cold day, but temperatures modifying under a west to southwest wind, and just a few scattered clouds across the region during this afternoon, dying off this evening with mostly clear skies once again. Some scattered high clouds across the region as the system across southeastern Canada races to our north and east during the day on Saturday. And during the day on Saturday, it should be generally a mostly sunny day during the early part of the day. And then the model continues to indicate an increase of cloud cover as the winds become more southwesterly and moisture increases in the mid and lower levels of the atmosphere, first from the upper levels and then down to the surface during Saturday night and Sunday morning. Rain should be overspreading the region as the coastal low moves rapidly up the east coast to off the New Jersey, New York City waters by Sunday night. Rain should overspread the region during the morning from southwest to northeast. Total rainfall from this event should be in the order of about an inch, and we could have some moderate to heavy rain across the region, particularly Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. And that would produce some poor driving conditions and also ponding on roadways. But there are absolutely no watches or warnings out for any of this just yet as we see the system develop and evolve here across the region during on Sunday. GFS forecast going into motion. High pressure across the forecast region over the next couple of days. Winds become more southwesterly. Heights rise a little bit. Temperatures modify just slightly to near seasonal levels across the region through Saturday, Friday night and Saturday. And then clouds really increase. And then a storm system in the Gulf of Mexico moves up towards the coastal waters off the Carolina coast. Rain overspreads the region on Sunday morning from southwest to northeast, and the rain could be locally heavy at times with the system deepening rapidly off the Delaware coast into the coastal waters of New Jersey and New York's coastal waters, and then off the New England coast by Sunday morning. It's a fast-moving system, and moderate to heavy rain possibly pouring down on Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, producing some ponding on the water, on the roadways, and about an inch or so of rain. Locally higher amounts in any heavier downpours. Once the low scoots out to the northeast, it's going to bring part of the polar vortex to the south, and the models are having a hard time with a piece of it splitting off and then rotating. How far south the polar vortex gets towards the United States, especially northern New England over the next week, is going to really determine the temperature forecast and also precipitation events as waves of low pressure undercut the stream of polar air or Arctic air to the north and move through the region. The GFS has been flipping back and forth. The European model is just about a little bit opposite on that and the timing of these disturbances. One thing we know for sure is that when the Arctic front does come through on Tuesday, it will mean a very cold Tuesday night for New Year's Eve and a very cold start to January 2014 as high pressure will be in control and a clipper system will be moving across the Great Lakes region, and a very cold stream of air with very cold thicknesses here across the mid-Atlantic and New England coast states with high pressure in control. This is where things get a little tricky now. Cold air damming, high pressure moves over across the region on Thursday, Wednesday night and Thursday. Then a system here across the Central Plains undercutting the cold air damming situation here. The cold air is starting to retreat, and a piece of energy here in the Gulf of Mexico conspire to bring a coastal storm. At least the northern and southern branch, the GFS wants to make this into a coastal system during Friday, and that would start off with rapidly spreading snow across the region on Thursday and going over to rain very quickly, central and southern New Jersey, and then all areas of New Jersey during Thursday night and Friday morning. So this is a tricky forecast too, and it gets very, very windy with the main trough access here still across the Great Lakes into the central and southern plains and southeastern states. So our precipitation type going into Sunday, basically rain across the region. Then things kind of dry out as we head towards New Year's Eve and New Year's Day with high pressure in control. And the high now, with this clipper system coming in from the north west towards the Great Lakes and rushing down, and a system developing here in the Gulf of Mexico, the GFS, not sure what it wants to do with the system, but it tries to hold some cold air damming in on Thursday morning. That's January 2nd, as some snow spreads here between the two systems, spreads in from the west. And then the storm system develops across the coastal waters during Thursday night and Friday morning and keeps a wintry mix probably north of 78 and Interstate 84 and 80, where it could be a mix of precipitation and snow up the Hudson Valley into Connecticut with rain overspreading the region, with warming coming in from off the Atlantic. As the high pressure retreats, the cold air damming situation lifts, and the precipitation becomes mainly rain for the New Jersey, New York City, Philadelphia metro area with a freezing mix to the north and west. This would be on Friday, January 3rd. And the models have been very unclear about the evolution of this, and it's plenty of time to look at this as we go through the period. And all of this is being determined by the strength and location of the polar vortex during next week's time frame. So we won't go any further in the forecast at this point. So a very active and changeable weather pattern developing once the rainstorm passes over the weekend. Things begin interesting with a very strong Arctic cold front moving through the region on Tuesday, setting the stage for a very frosty and chilly New Year's Eve and a very cold New Year's Day, with the potential for more wintry precipitation come later Thursday and Thursday night into early Friday of next week. So it's going to be a very active weather pattern, and I'm going to have to make sure to take all my vitamins because I think I'm coming down with another cold or so. And this is a season where things are going to get quite interesting, so I'm going to need to really take care of myself. So I hope you take care of yourself too out there. For Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. That's a wrap for this week. We'll be back bright and early in video form on Monday morning. Don't forget all the live feeds and continual forecast updates on both websites, Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com. Have a terrific weekend.